Welcome back to R&D Garage. Today I'm going to be replacing my old worn cartridge and springs from my drift car. I want to add some more grip. If you saw in the previous video, I already added the control arms in the rear. So now when the wheel compresses, it doesn't toe out like it wants to on the normal suspension because the car is so low. It actually stays pretty smooth. It will toe out a minimal amount, but it's not that much. I'm pretty excited about that. But to add to it, we need the proper suspension, right? We need better springs, better valved cartridge for the new springs, and that's what we're gonna work on. I luckily work at BC Racing, so I get to test stuff out and try new things and see what works. But there's only one thing I do know, and that is that Matt will not beat me again. If you're gonna take out the top hats off like that, don't do it like I did it. Make sure you put some kind of weight or jack under the tire so you take the nut off and it stays in place. Then you lower the jack and it goes down. I forgot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It works anyway. Dang, these arms look like they've seen better days. Don't let this all crust and stuff distract you from the fact that these are still fine. That's just dirt and grime, but it still adjusts just fine. Don't know if you can hear the clicks. The spring is a spring. It's gonna work no matter what. 6K. As long as these aren't seized, this thing just works just fine, and it's been on there for probably 5 years. That's the stuff from when I caught on fire, so that would probably come out right off. Now let's go find Garrett at work and see if we can't take these apart, clean them up, and put them back together. Here we are at work. We got a bunch of parts. Today we're going to be doing the rears, and we're going to be shooting a lot of footage with a GoPro for marketing, so this will be pretty exciting. I'm going to be changing my cartridges to 240 155 X bleeds. That's going to be awesome. Going to a 4K spring and a little taller, so I'll have a little bit more travel since it is a softer rate. And going to a pillow ball top mount. So this should be a lot stiffer, but it's going to be better because I'll be using more of a spring rate. I feel like now that we're in proper lighting, you can see how bad my shocks really are, or my rear suspension. It's not that it's bad, it's just how dirty it is. But, I mean, it functions fine. It has no leaks too, so that's just dirt and stuff from the road and the fire suppression from when I caught on fire. Cody's here setting up some GoPro stuff. Gonna make a nice overhead shot. This was pretty crazy to take off. It's pretty dirty. If you can see, it's cool because the top collar can actually come up and it doesn't have to go through all this dirt because otherwise it gets stuck. So by going up, it's easier. But just remember, you got to jiggle it on and off. So like on and then back it off, and then a little bit more and then back it off, and that way you can get it out easy and you don't get it stuck. The shocks already look brand new. All I did was wipe them with a rag. It's crazy. And then I have all these parts right here. I'm gonna take them to the cleaner over there and we'll see how they look. Ooh, that looks amazing. The most important thing you're gonna clean is the threads on the collars, which I made sure to take extra time to do. And the threads on the lower mount as well in there. See how it's nice and clean? The outside has a lot of paint on it, but that's just from painting my car over the years, and control arms and all kinds of stuff. I cleaned the dust boots as well, and the springs, even though we're not going to use them, but It's good to clean everything. Look, this could be you. All you have to do is take apart your suspension, clean it, and put it back together, and look at that. Looks amazing. Chris, don't be playing with my coilovers like that, man.
Why?
I need those.
Ray could use them too?
Don't drop them. You think they'd work on the Jeep?
No, that's not long enough. You need more stroke, right?
We should just go inside and grab some Jeep suspension. Oh, you already got it? Oh, dang, I'm behind. That looks good on there.
Are you gonna put suspension on your van?
Oh, yo, let me borrow those.
He said let me borrow.
Made it back to the shop. Justin's here.
Hey.
Don't walk away.
No, leave me alone.
Yeah, we're gonna install the rear suspension on the car, then drop it and change the shocks in the front, and that'll be the suspension refresh. I'm so excited, as you saw. 4K spring. Oh, that sounds like 4K resolution, but it's 4K spring rate in the rear and the same 8K in the front, because I don't have a sway bar right now. I might add one in the future. If I do, then I can mess with the spring rate then. But technically, without a sway bar, I should probably even be going into 10K to keep my car stiff up front with the suspension, and because I don't have the sway bar to compensate. But that's also wrong, so maybe I should look into getting a sway bar. But for now, the rear will be able to squat a lot more. Let's see, we went from 135 to 155, so 20 mils more, and it's a bigger shock body as well, so it holds more fluid, which means it's gonna retain the temperature better, which means it's not gonna get as hot in the same amount of time. So that's pretty exciting. On the ground. This is the ride height I presumed I wanted it at, just from measurements, and I think that's exactly where I want it. You can tell the caster is back. That's because the traction rod that we got is extended too much. It might not be a bad thing. It might be a good thing that, you know, it helps with the travel of the wheel, but I think it's a little too far. It might have to come forward some. Now, I'm not going to change it now. I'm going to take it to an alignment rack and actually get some real numbers. But that is about the ride height I wanted. I wanted to see the top of the tire, maybe a little bit taller, and then I want the car to compress to the rim. So about 1.5 inches of travel. That's not bad. And then the front is about there, maybe a little lower. I don't want to rub either though. So that's where the back is going to sit at for now. Now we're going to go and change the shocks in the front for something way longer. I went from a 260 120. 260 is the size of the shock body, 120 is the travel, the shaft, and I went from that to a 280 135, which means I'll be doing a 280 millimeter shock body, which adds that much more fluid, which again is good for temperature, for heat, and then 50 millimeters longer shock. Now I won't be using much travel in the front because I don't have a sway bar, so it's actually fairly stiff up front. The spring is kind of helping with not having a sway bar. But what you would like is maybe some helper springs and a little softer spring rate and a proper sway bar. But for now, this is okay, little by little. Remember, I can't afford everything, and I thank you guys for having patience. And you know, this is what any of us would do. You know, this is, you work hard during the day, and then you're out in the garage every night. So this is what we do. So you can see I shaved and I'm at my house. My camera actually corrupted this last 7 files of this video. It wasn't the camera, it was the card. I replaced the card with a better one, class 10, whatever. I don't know. And hopefully this clip works. But basically I drove the car home, we finished it, me and Justin put it on the ground. And remember, it has the antique tag now, so I can drive it around. And I'm gonna drive it to work and test it out some more. But on just this drive, I already feel a lot softer, smoother. And I did a 3rd gear pull, and my car had never done a 3rd gear pull from that RPM and not spun the tire. Usually at low RPM it just spins them because it's so low RPM. A higher RPM it kind of grabs, but it did not spin. It went, and then I threw 4th and it also went. And I was really scared because I think I was going really fast. I don't know how fast, but it was sketchy. It's very dark and cold here in Florida, but car's doing good. I'm so excited with this new suspension. I'm gonna go get an alignment, and the next couple of videos will be it at the track and seeing how much grip it has. And then I have to race Matt again, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna race him with all of his cars, and I'm gonna beat him. So thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and sharing. See you guys next time. Goodbye.